Okay, so starting straight in with the pliés today, we've got our 2 demi-pliés with a nice little breathe of the arm. And then we've got our rise, bringing this arm all the way up to fifth, opening out at the top into our full plié, melting all the way down, arm lifts through first and out to second. Then we take our forward port de bras. So we're relaxing forward. As we go forward, we make sure that we don't drop the hips backwards. We don't want these legs to be at an angle. We want to keep the hips directly over the ankles. And then we take the upper body forward as if we're bringing the arm into first. Then we lift the body on the arm up to fifth, into the dégagé to the side, and then lower into our 2 demi-pliés. So when we take these demi-pliés in second, we're thinking about that tailbone dropping down between the heels. And I want you to think about the arches of your feet. You want to keep that nice curve in the arch of the foot. We don't want to let the knees drop forward and therefore drop the arches. So we're thinking about using the muscles in the feet to keep those arches lifted, and that's going to help us get those knees to go out sideways over the toes. We've done our 2 demi-pliés, our 2 rises, and then we're into our full plié. Now, when we're doing our full plié in second, it's important that the heels don't lift off the floor. So we're pushing those feet down. Now, it might mean that as we go down, we have to take these feet a little bit wider. Ideally, your second position should stay the same for demi-pliés and full pliés, but sometimes the first time we take it is a little bit closer. You can slide those feet slightly to get your deeper second full plié if you want. Then it's our side bend. So we've got that nice straight line. We're turning the head and then we're taking the body over. What we don't want to do is let this arm drop too far. So it's almost as if once the arm gets to fifth, it stays where it is and we just tilt from the side. We turn the head. It's going to give it that look of going a little bit further. We open all the way out through the foot into the dégagé and cross over in front. Again, those 2 demi-pliés. And we're thinking about the arches of the feet. We're not letting the feet and knees roll forwards. We're pushing them out sideways. We've got our 2 rises into that melting full plié. Remember to push those heels down on the floor before we stretch the legs and open. Then it's our circular port de bras. So I talked about this the other day, but if you missed it, we're coming into our forward bend like we did earlier. We then take our side bend. So our eyes look towards the bar. We either then come up to fifth and open to second, or from your side bend, we can then go into our back bend. So I'm circling away, turning the head to look out to the side with the hand as it comes to second, and then I'm lowering all the way down to bra bar to finish. Okay, so quite a lot to think about, but each little separate part we can think about separately. So here we go. And our 2 demi-pliés. And our 2 rises. Opening out, so lifting the arches of the feet, over toes. And then we take the body weight forward, away from the hip. Dégagé. Lifting the arches of the feet, making those knees go sideways. And then establish the fifth position. And go into your side bend. Recover. Closing in front. Watching the arches of the feet. We're not rolling the ankles. Down. And then our circular port de bras if we want to do it. And then we're just bringing both arms to bra bar. Let's take that on the other side. So obviously the first and second position pliés are exactly the same. The side bend is different because we're going to the other side. But the main reason for doing it on the other side is to get your cross position, your third or your fifth, on the second side. Using the arm to lift that body. So the arm is leading the movement into the rise. And then the arm again leads that movement into the full plie. Heels down, lift the arches of the feet. Forward quarter bra. So the tailbone goes down between the heels. Knees are sideways. The arches of the feet are lifting. We're stopping any roll of the feet going forward. Go sideways. Use the muscles in the feet to keep those arches nice and high. Taking care over this quarter bra, nice and smooth on the way round. Lower the arms. Great. Okay, so our Tonjus exercise, we've made a slight change. So we had been doing 2 Tonjus to the front, and then our third one with a flex. What I've changed it to now is 1 slow, 2 quick, and then our Tonju and flex. So I'm going to turn on the slight angle so you can see what I'm doing. We've gone front and close, out, in, Tonju and a flex, point our toe, close our feet. So we've got those extra 2 little quick ones in between. We then use our inside leg going straight behind us. Out and in, in, Tonju and we flex, point and close. And we go to second. Tonju, this time we have to close in front and behind and in front. Point, we flex the foot, lower to the point and close. We go out into our plie, into the dégagé and close, and we're going to add a rise. Now this rise, we're going to draw the feet across in front, so we're into a nice tight fist at the top, and then slide that front foot back out as we lower, and then we repeat the whole thing. So let's take the arm to second, out and close, out, in, point and a flex to the back, derrière, close, out, in, point and a flex to the side. We go out, we close in front. Remember, it's an even number this time, so we have to close in front, out, behind, out in front, point and we flex. Now here, make sure that the toes aren't pointing towards me. We want to rotate from the top of the leg and get those toes pointing up to the ceiling as much as we can. So really flexing that foot, rotating from the hip. But as we rotate from the hip, make sure we haven't turned from the waist. So the hips are both pointing forward, and it's the leg in the hip that is rotated. We haven't drawn those hips backwards. Otherwise, the light's going to be pointing this way. We want the light from your hips to be pointing forward. We've closed at the back. We go out into our plie, into our dégagé and close. And we're drawing that front foot across into our rise, and then we can take a balance at the top. Okay? So if you're on a carpeted floor, you're going to have to really work these feet to slide them out and in. If we're on a wooden floor, tiled floor, it'd be a little bit easier, but still press those feet down into the floor to get the feet working. I'm going to take the arms to second. We go. Tonju and a close. Out, in, we point and we flex. Take that to the back and a slow. Close, 2 quick. ready to the side. So think about our turn out. Toes in front and behind and in front. We point, we flex, toes to the ceiling, toes behind, go out. Our plie, touch, close. Draw the feet in nice and tight. Open from the beginning. Sliding that foot. Derriere. We point some flex. Here we go. Now think about these hips staying square to the front. In, and flex. Closing to the back. Into our plie. Rise, drawing the foot across, both arms to fist, and we open, and we plie. Good, on the other leg. Arm to first and second, to first, close, out, in, you point. Flex. Derriere. In, out, in. Point. And flexing. Ready to the side. Closing in front and behind. In front. Now really work on keeping these hips square, but turning out the leg. Go. Out. Into our plie. Stretch. Close, draw the foot in front, rise, lower, and working through the feet as we flex, derriere. When we flex the foot, start from the toes, and then the toes are the last thing to come back down. We close in front. Start from the toes, working back. The toes are the last thing to come down. Into our plie. Closing in front, we draw across. Both arms to fist. Opening out. And then we lower. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of a more in-depth look at that second part of the rond de jambe exercise. So the first part is your slow rond de jambe, too quick, and then our fondus going front, back, side, front. And then we reverse that, and then we get into this sort of nice sweeping arabesque. I think it's a bit more of an adagio section, although we're not lifting the leg. So we've just finished. We've done our rond de jambes, we've done our fondus, and we've finished with the leg out to the side. Now I'm going to turn on an angle like this so you can see exactly where we're going. But you keep yourself square to the front. So like we just did with that fondu and flex, we've rotated that leg in the hip. We've got the heel pointing forward, so it's the inside of the heel here. You're trying to shine to the front rather than down to the floor. We've rotated that leg. Now we bring this leg around to the front, and as we do that, we've brought the arm into first. From there, we're going to take a plie. So the weight is right in the middle at this point. We've got an even amount of weight on both feet, and this arm that's off the bar is still in first. We then transfer onto that front leg, and we open into our arabesque. Now, when we transfer the weight, although we are taking it forward, we're keeping these shoulders over the front foot. What we're not doing is coming to an arabesque here. Okay, can you see how my shoulders are well in front of my hips? If we were doing this in the center, there's no way we'd be able to lift that leg off the floor because we'd be completely off balance. So from here, establish that plie, shoulders over hips, and then take that whole part of the body, shoulders over the hips, over your front leg. So we're in this position here, nice and straight with the legs rather than here. Okay? Then it's going to be a lot easier to come down into that plie again and then lift it onto the back leg. So the actual transfer of weight, the distance is quite small, okay? It doesn't go a long way forward and then a long way back. We're going from our plie over our front foot, back to our plie, and then over our back leg. We always want that nice straight line with the body in line with whichever leg we're standing on. So we've done our rond de jambes, we finished our fondus there. I'm going to turn on the angle for you. So we come in, we plie, we transfer the weight to our arabesque, we plie, we've lifted up to fifth. So we're nicely supported on this back leg, that's our supporting leg. We then circle this leg like a rond de jambe all the way around to the back, and then that's going to come down into the plie. Now at the same time as doing that leg, this arm is opening out to the side, it's come all the way down through bras bar, so that by the time we get to our plie, we're back in that same position, arm in first, weight on both feet. Then we can transfer into our arabesque. Okay, again, shoulders are right over the hips and are in line with that leg. We haven't done any leaning back. We then transfer and lift up to our fifth. We do that same circling action. This time it's coming from the back. So the arm is opening through second. It's coming all the way down through bras bar. This time we're going to draw the front foot in. The arm has come down through the port de bras up to fifth, and then we lower. Okay, so that whole thing, from our leg in second, after we finish our fondus, we go plie, transfer, plie, transfer, circling. We're coming back to that same position, plie. Arabesque is the first one, plie, and then up to fifth on the second one. Circling the arm and the leg around, so really reach away there. We've come all the way up to our fifth, and then we lower. We're ready to go again. Now, because we're in this closed position, rather than being in our dégagé up to the side, we have to take a chassé into this one this time. So we're going to plie and slide the feet. Now, when you chassé, don't leave the weight behind you. You're going to take the weight with you. So you bend and take that weight with you so it goes into the middle. We're back to this same position, and then we transfer arabesque, back to our plie, lift fifth, circling round, we plie and transfer, get your shoulders over your hips, plie, lift fifth, circling all the round, we rise, and this time at the very end, that's where you take your little balance there. Okay, so the main thing when you do these transfer of weights that I want you to think about is being nice and straight with the supporting leg. So whichever leg you're standing on, your hips are going to be directly in line with your shoulders and your heels. So everything's nice and straight. If you can get it holding onto the bar, when you come out into the center and we do any transfer of weight forward and backwards, you're going to be much more balanced, okay? Because you're going to know where to put yourself to keep yourself balanced. So focus on that bit when we get to it. I will do the first half of the exercise. If you get a little bit lost, don't worry. Just join in best you can. And then hopefully we'll know exactly what we're doing for the second half. We take the arm to first and second. We circle. 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, and again, 3, 4. We're going to fondue. And again, out to second. Reverse our rond de jambe, we come to the front. On you go to the back for the first time. Now to the front. Here we go, this bit we've just practiced. Here we go. Plie, arabesque, plie, fifth, circle, plie, arabesque, plie, fifth, circling, we rise. Holding it there. Open this arm all the way out. Lower. Ready, we take our chassé. So plie, slide into the arabesque. Plie, flip, circling round. Plie, over. Up to the fifth. Here's our right. This time we're going to take both arms up. Start to open. And then we lower. You can take a little plie at the bottom if you want to. Good, okay. So let's try that on the other side. So it's all exactly the same. We're thinking about those hips, shoulders and heel, or middle of the foot really, should all be in line when we transfer the weight. We've prepared. Fondu, we're coming to the front. And to the side. Let's reverse the rond de jambe. Fondu in at the back. Again, I'm going to turn on the slight angle so you can see me. We've gone plie, straight on that front leg, and the back leg. You gain weight in the center. We rise this time. Hold it there. Think about the legs. Squeeze them together. Flatten the ribs, pulling the tummy. Open. Ready? This time it's our plie chassé. Plie weight in the center. Lift. Arabesque. Lifting, sit nice and tall. We rise. Both arms when you're ready. Squeeze and hold everything. We open. And we lower. Good. Okay, so grand battements. Now we're doing those grand battements, 2 counts, up and a down, up and a down, up and a down, and then we've got our retire position. Now the reason to practice these retires is because they come in a lot when we're in the center. If you practice holding onto the bar, your body gets used to where that foot is going to go, and it comes into that nice position every time without you having to think about it too much. So we're coming and bringing the toe underneath the knee. So it's almost like the arch of the foot is just cupping the underneath of the knee. We don't want to go too far across so that we can see the toes going past the leg. We just want to bring it so that the little toe is just pressing against the front of the leg, just underneath the knee if we can. Now, of course, if that is too high, if it's uncomfortable, you can bring it lower. Okay, you just want to make sure you've got that connection between the two legs. So I'm pressing that toe into the leg. It's not hovering, it's pressed against that leg. Okay, and it's a nice sharp movement. So if we're coming from the front, we come underneath the knee, press that little toe into the leg, and then put the foot down at the back. If we're coming from the back, we come to exactly the same position at the front. Okay, and then put the foot down. So it doesn't matter whether you're coming from the front or from the back, you always come to this same position. That's retire devant, retire at the front. Okay, and there and down. So we actually do 2 going from the front, sorry, 1 going from the front to the back and 2 coming from the back to the front. So we go with our arm in second, 1 and a close, 2 and a close, 3 and a close. We lift, retire, put the foot down at the back. Derrière and a close, derrière and a close, derrière and a close. We lift up, down. We go to the side, we close behind. Side, we close in front, side, we close behind. It's that retire passé from the back again. Lift and a lower, and then we've got our releve. So both feet are snatching together, legs together, and then we push the toes away from each other, one in each direction as we come down and squeeze together, and then down, and then we're lifting the arm up to fifth on the third one, and then we lower into a plie. Now, as always, if you find releve difficult, if it's too much to coordinate both legs at the same time, instead of snatching the feet together, just do a plie and a rise. Plie and a rise. Okay, you'll be using the same muscles. The only thing we're not doing is having that pull of the legs together, which can be challenging if we're slightly off balance or if we've got one leg that doesn't want to work quite as well as the other. What we don't want to have is a releve where you've just got one foot coming out and in and the other leg not doing anything. I'd much rather you did a plie and a rise on both feet than having a releve that has only the front leg working or only the back leg working. Okay, it's much better to get both of these legs working, doing the same thing, rather than having one doing all the work and one doing nothing. Okay, so that was either plie and a rise, or plie and both feet snatching in. I'll leave that up to you. Don't forget, you can always do a combination of these. So if the first time you did the releve, but second time you thought, well, I'm not up to the releve, do the rise, that's fine. So twice through on this leg, and then we'll go to the other side. Here we go. So just nice and free with these combat ones. Nice and loose in the hips. Here's our retire. Lift. Down. So be nice and secure with that position at the front of the leg. So we're going there. Secure. And we go to the side. Close in front. And we lift. So here we snatch both feet. And again, both feet. And up to the top. And we come down. Front. I'm going to add the arm with the retire this time. It lifts the leg. Or taking our rise up to the top, open on a plie. Great, on the other leg. So think about the position of the foot before it goes down. The position at the front of the leg is the most important bit. Get to the side. Here we go. And with a plie. Using the arm and leg. Wednesday and Friday last week, we looked at a little bit of port de bras in the center that was going to work towards our adagio bit that we did. So today I thought we'd add on with that port de bras. We do a little bit of plie in the center and a little bit of tendus in the center as well. So we're going to start as we did, feet in first. And we're going to take arms to first, out to second, and then we're going to take a demi plie and stretch. And then we're going to go arms to first, arms to fifth, into another just demi plie and stretch. So that went 1 and 2, demi plie and stretch. Arms first and fifth into another demi-plie and stretch. We're going to take the arms to first and fourth. We're going to do our circular port de bras all the way around. So we change the arms over the top. As we change, that takes us into our side bend. As the arms come to first, we take that forward bend. As we open the arms to fourth, we're into another side bend, and then we recover. We won't do the back bend today. We'll just recover out to our second. We're then going to take a full plie. So we're going to go 1 and a 2. We go heels down 3 and a 4. Then we're going to take tendu side and close other foot side and close tendu side. Lower our heel, arms down to bra bar. We then, ooh, nearly fell over there. Get my balance. We're then going to repeat the whole thing, but with our feet in first. So we went 1 and 2, demi-plie 3, stretch 4. We go 1, arms 2, into our demi-plie 3, stretch 4. We're going to do the circular port de bras with the other arm. So we go first and fourth, into our side bend, into our forward bend, into our side bend, open second, and then we take our full plie. Now, this is one we have to think about, because full plies in second in the center can sometimes end up a little bit like this. We don't want to drop the shoulders, we want to keep the shoulders in line. And to do that, we've got to make sure that we get these knees going sideways over the top. Don't be tempted to try and lift the heels. Okay, so we've done our side bend, we've recovered second, and then we're going to go plie and 2, arms first, 3 and 4. Then we're just going to take a nice transfer of weight into a dégagé. So you'll have to use those legs there, otherwise it can look a little bit of a heave-ho. So we're going to use these legs to pull up into that dégagé there, and then close, and then we'll finish with a little rise, either arms to first or up to fifth, depending on what you fancy. Let me just do that. So we'll put the music on and have a little go. So we're going first and second into our demi-plie and stretch. We go first and fifth, opening into our demi-plie and stretch. We're going to take the right arm to fourth, and we circle all the way round and open into our full plie. Let's just do one tendu actually, one tendu a click. Lower our heels and there. 2 demi-plies. Oh, sorry. And second, then our demi-plie. And stretch, port de bras. We go first and fifth. Opening up to second, we take a demi-plie, so don't go too low. And stretch. We're going to take the left arm to fourth. First, fourth, we circle through the port de bras first, fourth, and open into that full plie this time, all the way down. Now use these legs to transfer the weight, and then we finished on our rise either in first or in fifth. Good, so we'll give that another go because I went wrong. I don't like it when I go wrong, so we have to do it again. So it's port de bras, then demi-plie, port de bras, then demi-plie. Right arm for the circular port de bras, through our fourth to second, into the full plie, and then there's not enough time to do the 3 tendu, so we'll just do 1 dégagé and lower the heels in second. Port de bras into the demi-plie, port de bras into the demi-plie. Left arm this time. We circle round into the fourth, open to the second, into the full plie, making sure that we don't get this. We're dropping that tailbone down, heels stay on the floor, and then we did our nice, strong use of the legs and the feet into that transfer of weight rather than a big sway of the body to get us over there. and then we're finished, feet in first, and then just wherever you want your arms for that rise. So it's nice slow music. We can take our time, think about our placement of our weight, think about where our hips are in relation to our shoulders. So we start with a port de bras. And second, melting into that demi-plie. And stretch. We're still thinking about that tailbone between the heels. So when we demi-plie here, don't let the bottom stick out, keep it tucked in. And stretch. We go first and then fourth. And into that circular port de bras. Coming forward, side, opening. This is our full plie, so we're going to lift the heels, backs nice and straight and tall, into our dégagé, and lower, port de bras, and opening, lifting tall out of the waist for the demi-plie, and stretch, and first. Opening. Now think of knees over the toes, lift those arches, and left arm this time, and we go over, through into the forward port de bras, into the fourth, and open, into our full plie, tailbone down. Now transfer of weight, strong legs, lift, and then we finish closing, and up on our rise. Good, lovely. So that's a few little options for your port de bras. You've got your basic, your full, your circular port de bras, fourth. So let's add that into our adage now. So we've got our right foot in front. We breathe on the introduction. We go arms first, dégagé fourth, opening up to the back. We close, turning on fast. We go first, dégagé front, extend the fingers, and we close. We go first, fourth in opposition there, we change over, we melt down into it, step on the front foot, we go join in behind, step to the side, close in front and our plie, we rise up to fifth, and then open. We repeat that whole thing, first, fourth, open and close. First and devant, arms to second, we open and close. First, fourth in opposition, we change, and we change, melting into it there. Step forward, we go behind, side, close in front, rising up and open. Then it's your 8 counts to do whichever port de bras you want. Okay, just think about how you move arms from one position to the other. Try not to take any sort of strange diagonal lines from places. So we almost always go first to fifth, first to second, first to third. Okay, think about how one arm moves into the next. You've got 8 counts. Doesn't matter where the arms finish, they can finish anywhere, because after that, we're then going to release your back foot, which should be your left foot. We do our little kuru backwards. So you keep your hips facing towards the corner. We do our little kuru backwards. And as we do that, wherever the arms are, they're going to start to sweep out to the side. So it's almost like there's some air underneath these arms and they start to lift. So we've done that little kuru back. These arms are going to continue to lift as we take our turn all the way around. We turn to face the front. We're then going to take these arms down, and then they open out to demi-second as we step into our curtsy at the side there. And then we take our basic forward bras, the arms coming through bra bar to first, as we pick up our right foot to step behind, and then we open to our demi-bras, making sure that we don't open them too wide. Leave the tops of the arms where they are and just rotate that forearm. So, from our second half, we've got our 8 counts for our port de bras. So I might go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we release our left foot at the back, we kuru, those arms continue to lift, As we turn, that takes 4 counts altogether. And these arms come down the front into our demi-second to curtsy. And then we take the reverse of that. So arms through bra bar first and to our demi-bra. Okay, I think we're ready to give it a go with the music. So we take a little breathe here. So we're still thinking about how we're moving arms from one position to the other. We hit the first, then the second. We extend, lower to bra bar. We're thinking about the shape of these arms, pathways, one to the other. Open to second as we melt. Pas de bourrée. Rise. And from the beginning. And again. Dégagé. Extending. And we go first. Changing. Melting into it here. Pas de bourrée, behind, side, in front. So this is your own 8 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release the back foot. And 2. Continue round. 3, 4. Bring the arms down from fifth. Curtsy. Arms through bra bar.